Welcome back, Ninja fans, to Danbury, Connecticut, where Ninja Mania is hosting the head-to-head World Championships from the World Ninja League. We have had an epic day so far, and it's all thanks to this man right here, Ryan Tanner, the course designer. He has been making the dream work for all these athletes, putting in countless hours to ensure that these competitions are adequately dialed in for every single athlete. And it has been an electric event so far. We're moving into our second to last division right here at the teen male division. And these athletes have come coast to coast from all around. Jackson, take us through this.
Yeah, so each athlete had to qualify from a regional championship across the country. So we've had two per region, so there's been 12 different opportunities. And yeah, just some super strong athletes from all across the world, even here to take on this head to head course.
That's
Our
right.
format for today is going to be a double elimination series, and it's going to start with all of the athletes up at the winners bracket. And then if an athlete loses a match, they go down to the comeback bracket. So they're not eliminated. You get to lose two times before you're eliminated. The last remaining athlete in the comeback bracket is going to go back up to the winners bracket for the final round. And if the comeback bracket champion wins, then there'll be a final reset match, which will occur since both athletes have lost one time. Looks like our athletes are getting ready to finish up rules in the walkthrough. Will, how you doing? And let's just talk about this course a little bit because we saw some great runs from team female and young adult male. What do you think is going to happen with team male?
You know, it all comes down to whether or not there are any changes. I'm not sure if they adjusted anything. It looks like Ryan Tanner is right now making sure that everything is set up properly on the cliffhanger obstacle, because that is going to be one of these crux points where whether or not the teens can commit to linking is sort of what we saw ending up being the deciding factor for a lot of the runs in the teen female division. I mean, these boys have been training nonstop. I know a couple of them personally, and I think it's going to be an incredible race for everybody. One thing to note for our viewers, this is a challenge format, meaning the athletes can fail any two obstacles once and get a retry. But if you fail the same obstacle twice or fail three separate obstacles, that is going to be the end of their run. So there's multiple ways you can do this. You could either finish the race faster than your opponent, or your opponent can kind of get in their own head and maybe make a mistake and end up falling just short of the victory here. And we've seen it happen sort of all weekend. Now, being a high-level competitor yourself, Jackson, sort of doing really good work, winning the World Ninja League Championships last year, what is the mentality for these guys coming into such a high-stakes, high-pressure competition?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of stakes, but at the same time, I think they're here to have some fun. A lot of these athletes are just going to be competing with their friends, so even though it might cause a little bit of tension between the two because they're not really used to that much head-to-head format, it's definitely going to be one about endurance. That's the word of the day today because it's not about how fast you can run your first run. It's about how long you can run at a good pace for 6, 7, 8 runs. We have 18 competitors, say, in the team male division, which means there's going to be so much room for division between the athletes. We might see one time of like 30 seconds, but then one time of 1 minute. So when you think about that, you're running the course almost 10 times for about a minute. That's 10 minutes of cardio and upper body endurance. So it's just going to come down to how bad they want this W.
That's right. And we can see right here our top seeded athlete, Cameron Godbout, coming out of Vitality Obstacle Fitness. He is 5'5", with a wingspan of 5'5", and he likes the challenge course format. Getting those retries is super important, so hopefully we'll see him lock in on this challenge format head-to-head course today. Also, not to be overlooked here, we've got another top-level athlete, our second seed here, Alex Asconi. Both of those young men are grand champion power-ranked individuals. This is going to be Alex's second time in team division. He's only done 10 comps in the tier 1 division so far, but he has a great track record. Are there
It's
any other
also good
names
to
here that...
report.
Sorry,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, for sure. Well, it's important to point out that Cameron Godbout is not only grand champion in the power rankings, he's also ranked first in the power rankings, meaning he has the best scoring of any of the comps all season round and last year in the team division. So definitely gonna have to look out for Cameron. Other names I'm seeing, Caleb Coombs, been an absolute demon this year on the course, going to comps all over the Northeast and just crushing it. Other names I see, Alex Andraka, who trains out of Center Court and Movement Lab. such a strong athlete. Reeg Ogden, yeah, next level. A lot of these ninjas I've seen compete because of how close I live to them. But a lot of names here that I might not know that might impress me. So we're gonna just have to see what happens.
Yeah, one guy I'm going to shout out coming from my own home gym, Quincy Heilman. I've seen this kid working day in, day out. Always the hardest worker in the building, always asking how he can achieve more. And I'm really excited to see if he has what it takes here on such a stacked field. There are a couple of other people. So Alex Asconi, one thing that we did not mention about him is that this is his home gym. So he's going to have a little bit of the advantage of just knowing the texture of all these objects. Another individual with the home gym advantage here, Luke Kemmerer, coming right out of Ninja Mania, also has that grand champion power ranking. So we're going to see a lot of athletes pushing their absolute fastest here on this course. You can see they're still getting their way through the walkthrough right now, making sure they have every little detail of their run planned out. How important would you say that the details are over the big picture on how to attack these different obstacles, Jack?
Yeah, when you really think about it, we've seen runs come down to 1 second or less than a second differences. So it's all going to be about every single move. So you have to make sure you don't just hope for the best and do the obstacles. You have to know and calculate every hand placement, every link, every hip pop. It's all so important, which leads me into one thing I want to talk about on how to get some more experience is that both Cameron Godbout and Alex Asconi will be running a ghost run, which is they'll be running solo on the course because of the number of athletes. So they're going to get to feel out the course so that when they race someone, it's not their first time running and the other person's second time running. So going to be really important to see whether Alex Asconi and Godbout are going to try and push the pace at the beginning or just try and get the clear so they can feel out all the obstacles.
Yeah, I think for myself, if I was in a similar boat, I think I would personally be going a little bit on the slower side and just making sure I understand what the distances look like, not on the ground, but on the obstacle, because there is a pretty big difference. Sometimes you visualize the link and it looks like it's going to be right there. But then when you're on the obstacle, you set for it and it just looks a little bit more weird. Now, this athlete right here that I'm highlighting, Eli, I just wanted to shout out that he actually broke his wrist and was in a cast for 6 weeks, and he just this Monday has been removed, has had the cast removed. So he's coming off of a
Wow.
little bit of a break, but he still managed to go through our gauntlet of qualifiers and earn a spot here. So I'm
He's
hoping
going
that
through a
we're going
little
to be
bit
able
of
to
a
see some good
break,
runs.
pun intended. Going through a little bit
Okay.
of a break. Wow.
Jackson's
We're
got the
really killing it
jokes.
today. Yep.
Honestly, you had a good one the other during the teen division too. I forget what it was, but you're in
Of
rare
course.
form today, my man.
Yeah, of course. Looks like they're going to clear the course for the two Ghost Runners. We'll probably get started, if I had to guess, in the next 5 minutes.
Yep, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the coverage that we've had so far. It's been an absolute blast. I do want to shout out our sponsors for this event. We've got DGS Ninja. They have always been making the absolute highest quality of all ninja obstacles, always adding to their obstacle library. In fact, Jackson, you recently got one of your own obstacles approved by them, right?
Yeah, the 111 DGS music note designed by Tom Alberti and me, Jackson Erdos. Great obstacle. And yeah, I love to see what DGS is doing with the sport with different brands like 111, Barn Built, Makercraft, Brett Sims doing all of that crazy obstacles, along with their DGS Ninja team of the sponsored athletes with 2023 champion Addie Herman, followed with Charlie Ball, Abby Clark, Joe Capo, Aiden Wood. There's plenty of ninjas that just make DGS such a great brand.
That's right. And another shout out to our sponsor, Ninja Works, the absolute ultimate in ninja timing systems. We got to thank them for making sure that we got the buzzers and the timer systems all set up for us today. And they've even got an awesome little commentator option for us here in the booth so that we can see the times of the runs super quickly, see the run order. Ninja Works always doing the most to help us improve in this sport. And here we are back in Ninja Mania. You can see all the athletes sort of in the back there talking. You can actually see Joe Moravsky on the right-hand side of your screen right now. Looks like he's talking strategy with some of his athletes, wearing his DGS Ninja shirt. So once again, just shout out to the sponsors, making sure that not only all the obstacles are perfect, but that their athletes are completely set up for success, no matter what. And now, this is our bracket that we've got so far. You can see Cam and Alex. They're going to have those ghost runs that we talked about, and we're going to have 4 athletes, Will Yolenti and Owen Wrighty. The winner of that race is going to go against Cameron, and the winner between William and Wesley is going to go up against Alex Asconi. Every other athlete is going to start right away with a head-to-head match, immediately thrown into the pressure of do or die. Either make your way into the winner's bracket or set yourself up for a comeback in the comeback bracket. And now we've got our 2 ghost runners. Looks like they're taking the starting block. We're going to have Cameron Godbat on the right. We're going to have Alex Asconi on the left. Now, these guys are not racing each other. This is purely for the experience of the course, but I think it's an important thing to get yourself in your head because this could be the finals race.
Yeah, we could see these 2 take the fastest times all day throughout just this one race. So super excited to see them go. Looking a little fast the first ones. Alex shooting through that first UFOs.
Yeah, and it looks to me like they've definitely changed a few things. I think the dismount for obstacle 2 is a little bit farther. They might have raised up these cliffhangers a hair, but wow. It took us a while in the team division to see anyone linking the cliffs, and both of the young men here are just crushing it right away. Ooh, Cam came up a little short on his dismount, though.
Wow, we got a little bar check action.
Interesting. So we're doing flying bar, and looks like we got to go up to this red trapeze to get the dismount. Looks like Cameron's catching up pretty quickly. Let's see if we can beat Alex to this first buzzer. It doesn't count for... Oh, the buzzer's up top now.
Wow.
So that's
getting that buzzer.
That's pretty cool. I like how they have the buzzer really high, but they also give you the trapeze. Just in case you miss it, you can catch the trapeze and get another shot at hitting your buzzer there.
Yeah, I like that. That's definitely good.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how those athletes manage to change their tactics to go a little bit faster. If you look at sort of what their speeds were, it's not showing up for me on the recent runs here, but that's all right. They were both incredibly quick either way, and we're looking forward to seeing the first 2 athletes here. Will Yolenti is going to be on the right, coming out of next level, and Owen Wrighty, a Ninja Mania local athlete.
Yeah, going to be curious to see how Will does up against someone that trains at Ninja Mania. Might be a little bit of an advantage here. But let's see how it goes. I'm moving through the monkey pegs. And then down that board. Yeah, I think that dismount is a little bit bigger. Definitely looks like you got to throw a little further.
Yeah, and we're going to see both of these athletes moving super quick. It's going to always come down to sort of not only the number of swings you take on these obstacles, but the type of lâché that you take. There's a lot of different types of linked lâché now, Jackson. What sort of separates the difference between those?
Yeah, so there are a couple of different ways to do it. You can bump through it, which means to kind of just shoot through directly to the next obstacle, or you can try and set a little bit, which is kind of throwing your hips behind you. Bumping through an obstacle takes a little bit less time, but however, it's room for failure because you're just relying on your power. You're not really relying on your technique. So we're gonna see how it goes. We saw Owen take a little bit of a stumble on the turbo rollers, but looks like he's currently in the lead.
It looks like they've really made those turbo rollers the full Rolly Elite version. And Owen taking a fall on the salmon ladder transfer. So Will right now needs to clear the obstacle. If he can clear it before Owen does, he wins. If they both fail out, which, I hope I don't see it, but if they both fail out, it's going to be Owen's match. And Owen is now, I think that's his second fail.
5 seconds left.
So unless he can full link it, this is going to be Owen's race anyways, and that is it for Will Yolenti. He's going into the comeback bracket.
I actually love this flying bar change. I think that was a great change to make, making it so that the course is a little more strength related, a little more difficulty related. So it's not just about clearing with a fast time; it's about clearing the course in general. Super excited to see what they do with the elite male division as well.
Definitely. I mean, we saw for a lot of the younger divisions here, when we got to that last obstacle lane, it was almost like a victory lap, right? They were just making sure that they hit their links and it was all good. Now, here we go. We got William Sparrows on the right coming out of Sinai Sports. And on the left, we have another Will. William Sparrows. Absolutely cooking through it. Both of these athletes have been competing for a good while. Both are 13 years old. And we're going to see
Wesley
sort of what
takes the fall on the second obstacle. Definitely a long obstacle. You don't want to be hung up there for too long.
Yeah, I think it's a good design to have these longer obstacles. It makes it really punishing if you take a fall, which is just such a interesting decision-making process. Where do you take your risks, right? Ooh, it looked like William Sparrows might have wanted to jump out to the second cliff there. He sort of took a look at it before electing to go for the first one. I think when you have a lead like this, and yeah, in the back there, Will took another fall. So Wesley doing a great job locking it up here. Or my bad, I have the names backwards. That's William on the right there and Wesley on the left. So William just got to make sure he gets this dismount. We saw is a little tricky because it's off axis from the slider, so you have to do a direction change to link that dismount. Definitely going to be a little bit of a mini crux on that obstacle here.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many difficult obstacles here, which is going to lead to some of these later rounds. They're definitely going to be pretty tired on this course. You can see another athlete falling on that flying bar. I think they're kind of forgetting about that backswing at the end.
Yeah, this is one of those obstacles where you really got to keep your weight beneath the bar so that you don't end up peeling out like happened to Williams' first attempt there. But unfortunately, Wesley took 2 fails on what looks like a cliffhanger obstacle, so that is going to be Williams' victory. He moves on to face off against Alex Asconi later in the winner's bracket. And here we have the next 2 ninjas, both deep in the Northeast, deep in the Massachusetts area. We have Jacob Hartman Bimbo coming in on the right-hand side, and Eli coming in from Surge Ninja on the left-hand side. 2 amazing gyms that definitely highlight speed practice in their training.
Definitely.
And they are off. We've got Jacob on the right here, Eli on the left, making their quick way through that peg climb and this board dismount. And there we go, linking out of it. That's what they need to do. And it looks like Eli's got a bit of a swing advantage here. Got maybe 2 seconds. Oh, wow. But Jacob's so fast on his feet, manages to catch it up
Jacob
just
takes
like
the
that.
lead on these hockey pucks.
Yeah, and even with his swing sort of all side to side, he manages to make it work. But who can link the cliffhangers?
Wow.
Eli can link the cliffhangers. That's great.
Eli taking that lead.
Now, they did change that ring slider obstacle from the team female division. There were 2 rings previously. Now there's just 1. So it's a little bit more technical for these male athletes. And yeah, unfortunate fall there from Jacob. It's one of those things where I think this bar is aluminum. So it's going to be a little bit heavier than if you're used to training on carbon fiber. It's going to be a bit harder.
Both have 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it looks like that rope slider is maybe a little farther than they expected it to be. A little difficult to get there. I know Jacob does a lot of bar tech at Strive. That's one of the things they focus on. Let's see if he can get this. Yep, gets
with
the buzzer.
Clear.
Great work, Jacob. Manages to clutch
Time
it up.
of 1:13.
Okay, so, you know, we've seen a few runners now, Jackson. Let's talk about some predictions. What do we think the fastest time is going to be?
All right. Cameron Gobout and Alex Asconi completely impressed me on that course. I think we could see some blazing times. I'm going to go with a time of 47 seconds.
Dang, I think that's a great guess, actually. I think I was going to go right
because I think it's a little bit harder than the last age group, so it might take a little bit longer than the teen females. However, like, these athletes are so strong. They can move so quick. So I think we'll probably see less than 47, but I'm going to end up saying 47.02.
All right, I'll go with 45.05, okay? And here we
That's
go.
a good
We've
guess.
got Luke Kemmerer on the right-hand side, Mason Goring on the left. And these guys are pushing the pace already. Looks like we're getting a little hung up there on the right-hand side. Mason sort of taking an extra swing to get his dismount. And Luke Kemmerer is just blitzing through everything. He's got that home gym advantage. Ninja Mania athlete.
Wasting no time.
Linking cliffhangers. That's what we wanted to see. Ooh.
Has to take
he
the
was
hop
looking for
over.
a dismount. It's a double hop. He hopped over both of the blockers there on that track. That's pretty interesting. And now if he can keep it clean, oh no.
Just misses his sides.
Well, he opens it up for Mason to come back a little bit.
He's going to have to clear it, or else it leaves the door open for Mason to come back.
Ooh, he almost missed it, but manages to pull himself right into the PVC and up to his buzzer. Congratulations, Luke Kemmer. You're moving on to the next round, and Mason is going to be moving on to the comeback bracket, but it's very important that he tries all the obstacles he can here so he knows what to expect moving forward. Yeah, you can see those turbo rollers are a lot quicker than in the previous divisions, I think.
I want to point out something that he got a time of 1 minute, even with a fall. So I did say 47. If I was able to change my prediction, I would probably say 42. Because
You know what?
that was like,
let's add some stakes to this, Jackson, okay? Let's wait for the whole first round of winners brackets to go. Then we'll make our predictions. Loser has to do 50 pull-ups and put it on their Instagram story.
Deal. We are. It's a handshake agreement. We are virtually shaking hands right now.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There are stakes, and now you brought him up. Caleb Coombs, an absolute powerhouse from the Northeast region, is going to be on the right-hand side, and Brendan is going to be on the left-hand side. Both coming out of the Northeast. I mean, these athletes are absolutely crushing it so far.
You can see that one-handed technique out of Caleb, wasting no time.
Hockey pucks. Great technique, linking with the switch grip on the cliffhangers. That's pretty smart. It really gives you a strong grip when you're in that switch grip position.
You could see Caleb really wanted to link that ring slider right away. Had to take the hop over. They train a lot of bar tech at Dexterity Depot, so let's see how it goes. I don't want to speak too soon, though.
He's taking some extra swings on this last lane. Just doesn't want to make a mistake about anything, but there you go. That's going to be a time of 49.
With a time of 49.
Wow. That's a lot faster than I thought we would see already.
I'm excited that I'm happy that we changed our guesses.
We get a second chance here, yeah.
Yeah.
Challenge course format, but with guessing the final times, you know? Yeah, I think Caleb's only spot where he really lost any time was on that last obstacle. So if we can see some links through there, I think that's going to be a huge differentiator. I actually really like that they increased this difficulty on that last one. It just adds a little bit more tension, a little bit more focus and pressure on that last couple of moves.
All right, next up in the red lane, we have Alex Andrejka, and in the blue lane, Joshua Saltzman. Both training out of the Northeast, one at Movement Lab and one at Next Level Ninja. A lot of Next Level athletes here, trained by Joe Capo and Abby Clark. Great gym.
Yeah.
They had a head-to-head qualifier in, I want to say about October. The elite male division was actually won by yours truly, not to brag or anything. But, moving on, we got Alex going through these hockey pucks real quick.
Yeah, he's just doing a great job keeping his arms a little bit bent so he can pull right away through each of those hockey pucks. Taking a backswing, 2 backswings on the cliffhanger. We've seen a lot of athletes just full link it already, so he's going to have to lock that up if he ends up moving on into this competition. And it looks like he's going to do that as long as he can keep it clean through here. And Joshua
took an extra fall somewhere as well.
Yeah, but he locked it up, and he's still moving forward, and anything can happen. We've seen a lot of athletes fail out on that bar transfer. Alex is going to have to take the retry, and this does give Joshua a little bit more time to get caught back up. He's still on the cliffhangers, but anything can happen here. Oh, no, careful with the backswing.
Wow. Super close there.
Yeah, everything tensed up for me.
114. Yeah.
I mean, we've just seen too many people on that exact same side take a little bit of a fall there. And unfortunately, one more fall is going to be the end of Joshua Saltzman's run in the winner's bracket, but he still has a chance in the comeback bracket. Can't count any athletes out yet. All right, another next level athlete on the left-hand side, Reed Ogden. He's been really pushing it lately against Level Up's own Blake Hone on the right-hand side of your screen. So 2 really strong athletes coming out here. Blake Hone traveling to us from the Southeast region. So he came out from a little bit further here than Reed coming out of New Jersey.
You know, he came to travel and he came to win, so Moving through this course, Blake a little bit of a lead. It looks like reach a couple extra swings on the UFOs. So
Yeah, Blake keeping himself locked off in that first cliffhanger to pull himself immediately to the next one, and he just took one swing. That's going to be a really hard time and technique to catch up with, and a beautiful direction to get his dismount. The turbo roller is not an
quick
issue.
Fall on the cliffhangers.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said that was probably going to be a crux point, and we are already absolutely seeing that is the case, especially when it's a grip obstacle. There's just so much that can go wrong. You have to be accurate with your fingers. You got to engage it immediately. If you're a little late engaging your strength, you could end up with an early fall. And Blake is leaving it open. All
the door is open.
To do is clear. That's all he needs, but he's running out of time to do it. He can take a few extra swings, but he's got to do it this try. And unable to get out of it.
It's going to be low on time now.
Yeah, this is a difference from the challenge format of the regular season, where your time continues during the reset. And unfortunately, that means that he timed out, and Blake got there a little bit faster. So Blake moving on into the winner's bracket. You can see right here, he gets to the left side, but just a little short on the right. It's something that I see with a lot of athletes with bar tech. Their reverse grip hand tends to struggle to get the same distance as their forward grip hand sometimes. So we'll see if he is able to push it forward a little bit more to make it up. All right, here we have Quincy Heilman on the left coming out of my own gym, Stanford Ninja Academy. Adam Hinlicky, Ninja Mania local, on the right-hand side of your screen, getting a little bit of an early advantage, but Quincy manages to save himself. He got a little off axis there on his run-up.
A little crooked.
Oh, no, Adam takes an early fall on the steps. We've seen that happen to a couple of athletes. There's this gray pad that's on the ground next to the steps, and he has to make sure to touch that. If he jumps from the red block, that does not count as a valid start. Now Adam is able to come back here, catch up to Quincy, and it looks like he's going to dismount first. But no, Quincy with an early dismount.
A little bit of a division here.
It's going to come down to bar tech.
This on your first try.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of there, but you can see Adam's probably used that bar, that same cradle before. He's used to the feeling, and that's going to be Adam's win. Quincy right behind. He's got to get experience on this obstacle to really clutch it up for the next round.
We have Chaos in red and Owen in blue.
All right, next up, Cameron Godbout, his first official run after the Ghost Runner, going up against Owen.
Yeah, Owen coming out Ninja Mania. He already won a race here. Cameron is going to be, like you said, it's his first race. Yes, he had that practice run, but that doesn't count for anything yet. We're going to see if he can handle the pressure here with Owen right next to him, breathing down his neck the whole way.
She can get other offers, and then we can go back to everyone's getting best. Like she may compromise.
There we go, and they are off. Cameron with a little bit of a bigger reach on the monkey bars, but they are neck and neck. But Cameron gets the earlier dismount.
Popping those hips through. Sticking the dismount.
Yep. You can see keeping the lock off and getting his direction set before flowing through with one arm. Cameron is doing an awesome job maintaining his flow here, but he does not link the cliffhangers, and Owen goes for the link. He had to do it to catch up, but unable to connect it.
And then who knows what the water meter.
Cameron just has to play it a little smooth now. He just needs to clear.
Yeah, this is a great work from Cameron. You can see he's super comfortable on flying bar techniques. And Owen, if he can get this, it's going to be huge because it will mean that he knows what he has to do when he's in the comeback bracket. So even though it's not his win, this could set the pace for him to make a good comeback. He just needs some forward momentum on it.
I believe Cameron's going to be having the fastest time so far, a time of 46.
Yep. So we've got one more race, and then we got to make our official commentator predictions here, Jackson.
Yes, I'm on the edge of my seat now.
Yeah, because right here we've got Alex Asconi. He's going to be on the right-hand side. He is a Ninja Mania local. William Sparrows on the left-hand side coming out of Sinai. They're getting the course perfectly reset. There are a lot of elements here to reset, and it's one of those things where, you know, you don't want to fail it anywhere, but if you fail on an obstacle that requires more resetting, that's just more time lost. So you
It's
really
gonna
want to make
feed
sure.
crazy into your time for sure. Because the
Yeah,
clock
yeah.
doesn't stop; it just keeps moving. Wow.
Jeez.
Alex Asconi wasting no time.
Yep, my man is not
Look
coming
at the
around to
hip motion
play.
in this.
Yeah, dang, just
Oh,
pulling
we're
as
gonna
fast.
see a sub 40.
That guy on the right-hand side of my screen, I feel the exact same way. This is too hot to handle almost. Oh my gosh, he's at full 5 obstacles ahead right now. If he can clutch this up, and he links himself straight to the buzzer.
No way. Are you
Alex,
kidding me? With a time of 35.37. William gonna finish the course because of that experience. I am shocked right now that Alex Asconi was able to have an almost perfect run and get a time of 35 on his second attempt.
yeah, man, and it's I don't know where you go faster than that. That could be the fastest time of the
That's
day.
what I'm saying.
Incredible. Yeah, William just needs to make sure he gets his experience here because he can still take one more chance to get back in this on the comeback bracket. So you really got to touch everything. But unfortunately, that's his third fail on the course. That is going to be the end of his run, not able to touch that last obstacle. So, Jackson, for 50 pull-ups, the closest number wins between us, okay? What is your bet for the quickest course time?
All right, I'm going to say 33.83.
33.83. Okay. I'm gonna guess that somehow Alex is gonna magically cut a couple more seconds. I'm gonna go with 32.32.
Okay, we're locked in. So is
Locked
it
in.
whoever gets the furthest away has to do the pull-ups?
Yes, that is exactly how we're
Okay.
gonna be doing this. And now here we
We
go.
got a
We've got
little next
Wesley
level race
Baker.
going.
Yeah, Wesley Baker on the left and Brendan Danishrad on the right. What do you do when you're a coach in this situation? I think you support both athletes as much as you can.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta yell at both of them to do the exact same thing. It must be a pretty tough situation.
I'd probably just go faster, and they're doing it. Brendan with a good advantage here. Looks like he's struggling to keep his hips straight on the cliffhanger obstacle. And Wesley is making up the difference right now, trying to get himself back into it. Looks like he's hung up on the ring slider, but he gets through and is still moving along. Oh, no. He took like 2 falls. All right. So
Brendan's hopping off the course, wants to save his energy.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call, I think. Got to make sure that there's no disadvantages here. Actually, you know, I wonder if that's what happened or if there was like a missed reset and they have to redo the race. I think that might be what's going on right here because Brendan is still on the starting platform there. So it looks like it's going to be a rerun.
Looks like that might have been what happened.
So we're going to get another chance here. Wesley was a little behind in the beginning, so it's just going to be a matter of whether or not he can shore up those small mistakes and come back to it. And I'm getting confirmation now that it was an obstacle that was not properly reset. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, so I can't blame it for the reset team missing one. That's the first one I've seen today. So, in general, this gym is doing an awesome job. Ninja Mania, whole staff absolutely crushing it out there. So they're going to move on to the next race in the comeback bracket, which is going to be Quincy Heilman and Will Yalenti, and they're going to let Brendan and Wesley take a breather before going back to the head-to-head. Quincy on your right, Will on your left. This is going to be a good race. I believe we didn't see either of these athletes finish the course, so this is going to be a matter of just getting it done. And like you sort of said earlier, this does... Yeah, go ahead.
As these runners are going, they're getting more experience on this course, and some of the people that might not have cleared the flying bar in that first run have some redemption now. They know They just got to commit to it because I think maybe on that first couple of tries, you don't really know the whole feel of it, but then slowly you kind of pick up on how these things work. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. They're
both.
neck and neck right now, hopping over to that ring.
Oh, Quincy unable to commit to the underbar dismount, but Will taking a fall on the turbo rollers. Quincy taking a fall on the turbo
They
rollers.
both failed the turbo rollers. Keep moving through though.
Will's the first one on the final obstacle. If he can do it flawless, there's not a lot that Quincy can do to catch up. Unless Quincy can pull through Link this. But he is unable to make the difference. We see he's a little bit distraught about the situation. It is one of those things where he had it. If he could have clutched through those turbo rollers, it was pretty much a done deal. But Will Yolenti, absolutely relentless, absolutely ruthless, does a great job getting to that buzzer first. Congratulations. He's going to move on in the comeback bracket. And unfortunately, that's going to be the end of the road for Quincy.
Yeah, you can see the times 1 second apart, 58.04 and 59.19. That just shows how close they were. But we have our rematch now of Wesley Baker and Brendan Danestrad going through this course right now. Both in the monkey peg, sliding down that board.
And to our audience, if we mispronounce one of these names, we're sorry. We're doing our best, but we don't have the phonetic. We don't have the phonetic spelling of everything in front of us. An awesome little link from Brendan, but he's getting squirrely. He has to be able to line his hips back up to get this dismount, and it gives Wesley a little bit of room here to catch himself back up. Oh, the cliffs got Wesley, and Brendan is going to make his way out of there into the next obstacle, and that... You hate to see it, but Wesley unable to keep his grip on those ledges. Cliffhangers can always get you.
You know, Brendan wants that clear, though, still to get some more experience.
And it looks like he managed to get it. Wow, keeping his foot just up to pass the plane and get experience on this last obstacle. Look how hard it is to get out of that cradle for some of these athletes. What do you think's going on there, Jack?
Yeah, I think the salmon ladder over there, the hooks kind of turn up a little bit, which means it's all about popping the bar not just forward, but also up out of the hooks. So they might be struggling with the actual height of the move and not just the distance.
Yeah, I think if you do a lot of flying bar on hooks, it's going to feel extremely different from these salmon ladder cradles. The salmon ladder cradles, like you said, have that upper lip. And yes, hooks do go upwards, but it's a lot easier to slide it out. I can see a couple of our elite divisions sort of on the side right now, probably learning a lot from these teen athletes, learning how to connect the movements, just sort of getting a familiarity for the course. And these two athletes...
learning about some of these harder crux points and just figuring out what they need to be careful on. But next up, we have another race. We got Owen versus Eli on this course. Eli training out of Surge, and Owen, once again, his third race training at Ninja Mania.
Yep, and I love Eli's little shoot-through dismount on the board. It's really committed. He is going for gold. He was kind of blind going into that dismount, too. So he's just really full sending it, and that's exactly what they do out there in Surge all the time. Owen able to connect.
It's almost like he's taking no breaks on the course, right?
Because that's what I would say.
His little broken wrist a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good connection there.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can cast himself into a first-place finish here.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, you can see he's still got some tape support on that hand, making sure that he's as safe as possible. Wow, powerful
Sticks the bar tech.
He knows all he has to do is clear now. Oh, careful on the backswing, bud. Yes, makes it happen.
Fingertips.
Yeah, he's not taking any risks. Yeah, double check the hand. Oh, I hope Eli's wrist isn't getting messed up. He's been cleared by the doctors, so he's certified to hit some buzzers this weekend, and that is exactly what he is doing.
Of course.
So he manages to finish it in a time of 1:09:36. Pretty good run. We do have to cut off some time there if he wants to compete against Alex Asconi's blazing fast sub 40 time, but he's got some time to do it. Next up, we've got Joshua on the right here coming out of Next Level, William Sparrows on the left coming out of Sinai, It's a battle of the orange shirts.
Of course, there's so many orange shirts today. I keep getting them confused about what gym is which.
Yeah, I see this. I see one colors. I'm thinking it's one gym, and then I gotta double check myself. You can see the slider tech here. Looks like William is a little bit more efficient. It looks like he ran straight through the ring, and Joshua's doing more of like a push slide technique, taking the reset to make sure he can get through it a little bit smoother, which gives William a lot of room to work here.
Yeah,
Again,
William might just want to take his time on this course now that there's a little bit of a division. He just needs to get through it.
Now, as another competitor, right, do you think that when you have that big advantage, it makes sense to go a little bit slower and just make sure that you clutch it up? Or do you think it's important to get the experience of pushing as fast as possible?
Yeah, I think it depends on the circumstance because you want to put yourself in a spot where you're comfortable, no matter the pace. So if your comfortable pace is going all out, then definitely go all out. But if you are a little unsure about some of these links, or unsure about some of these moves, you don't want to kind of like count your eggs before they hatch, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to start going as quick as you can, but then realize the other person can still catch up to you if you fall. But it looks like William was able to get the clear on that last time.
Buzzer beater.
128. Almost a second left.
That's pretty special. I love seeing a buzzer beater. I think you can see he's celebrating. That's something to get hype about. And he cleared the course, which is huge. I don't think we've seen every athlete actually get the full clear yet. So that is a super big thing, being able to get that advantage on knowing what everything feels like. And we're moving on here. We have Mason Goring on the right-hand side. He is going to be absolutely crushing it out on this. And then on the left, we have Brendan back again for another race coming from Next Level.
You got to keep in mind, this is now his fourth run on the course due to some sort of malfunction on something. So he's ran the course so many times already. You got to think, is he tired? Does he still have gas in the tank?
Yeah, true. Or did that extra experience help him dial in his technique a little bit better, and now he has a little more efficiency because of his better experience on the course?
Good point.
And you gotta wonder, taking all the extra strings on this cliffhanger, that's gotta tax the grip for the last sequence of obstacles here. It looks like both athletes making their way through with a few extra swings on the cliffhanger. Mason, great job linking through that dismount to sort of make up some time, and that's what he needed.
The rope.
Yeah, and now there's a little bit of room here for Mason. And Brennan has to do this clean, or he leaves a window of opportunity for his opponent. Big pops with his hips, and he gets the transfer.
He gets it. He's got to stick to Lachey, though.
No! Wesley can do it here, but I don't think he has time to do it twice. He has to do it right now.
And he's got 10 seconds left.
He's screaming.
Wow.
He's hyped up. I'm hyped up. Mason with an amazing comeback. I thought Brendan had it all done and said for, but unfortunate little peel out on that PVC.
Still a great run out of Brendan. You know he's going to want that next year for sure. Well, I'm sure we'll see him again in another competition. But now we have a battle of the next level once again. So Joe Capo going to be dual coaching again. We got Will Yulenti going up against Reed Ogden with Reed on the red side and Will on the blue side.
Yeah, and for our viewers, you can see all the lower body obstacles on the right are colored red, and all of the obstacles that are lower body on the left are colored blue. That's sort of how we are able to distinguish between those two sides here. And they are off with very similar techniques for the first couple sequences here. And a little bit of an early dismount for Will. Reed pulling himself through and able to connect that dismount. Good job keeping his composure and only staying about a swing behind. I think he actually managed to make up some time on those given links through the hockey pucks.
Yeah, able to use that one-handed technique just to breeze on through. Not wasting too much upper body strength either due to the straight arm technique.
Yeah, and oh no, Will comes up short. Will made up a huge amount of time by linking the cliffs, but gave it right back. And here we go. If Reed can finish this clean, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Will. He's building his power, needs a lot. He knows he does. He's giving it 100%, but he misses it. And Will, able to get it. Can he finish it clean? He can. And there you have it, the battle of the next level athletes. We have Will Yalenti moving on to the next round in the comeback bracket. Reed Ogden, awesome run, was able to stay ahead for almost the entire back half of this race. But on that flying bar transfer, we're just seeing a lot of athletes still getting caught up. And, you know, I think they're going to figure it out. It's just a shame that it didn't happen in the middle of his run.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our back. We're all back on the championship bracket. We have Caleb Coombs and Luke. Will, help me out on this last name.
Luke Kemmerer is going to be on our right-hand side.
Kemmerer.
Yeah, a lot of E's in that name. And Caleb Coombs, a lot of C's in that name. And they, boys, are off. New England versus Northeast right here. Ooh, Luke unable to connect the dismount, and Caleb absolutely blitzing through these links. He is one of those athletes where you can see just how powerful he is. He's constantly training speed in the Dexterity Depot with Matt Bradley. Good group of athletes out there. And Luke Kemmer has actually made it up. Oh no, Luke misses
They
both miss it. All right, so net no advantage, but Luke able to preserve his swing a little bit better. And he does have that home gym advantage. I wonder if he's tried the... Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a save. Wow.
Incredible adjustment.
Both athletes.
Oh, Luke Kemmer, don't leave him hanging, Caleb. Don't leave him hanging.
Yeah, you got to show some respect.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb, no one else could have pushed Luke just that much. It was an awesome race to the end, and this save, incredible. You know that wasn't planned from Luke. He just adjusted in the moment to make it work. Awesome job from both boys.
He wanted it to be all about the showmanship of this course. Yeah, he had to make a scene.
He said he knows that there's, you know, you and I in the booth, big fans of Bartek. He could put a little Bartek on display for us.
Of course. All right, next up, on the red side, we're going to have Blake Hone on the course, and on the blue side, we're going to have Adam Hinlicki, both having great times in the last run. Blake not able to complete the flying bar in the last one, while I'm pretty sure Adam was able to get the clear in 59 seconds, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Blake's got to make up a little bit of technique that he was missing on his last run, but he has that huge wingspan. You can see him making a good use of it here, getting a quick 1 second advantage over his opponent, Adam. Getting that turnaround
real
real
separation
quick.
Here.
And there's that straight arm technique.
The gap.
You know, I wonder, Blake looks like he might be one of the tallest athletes we have. Maybe there's a world where he decides to jump to the second cliffhanger on one of these attempts if he really feels the pressure. Yes!
Oh, but
I was hoping.
The dismount.
But I'm really impressed that he went for it. You know, that's one of the things I think we will be seeing future athletes attempting and going for, is just linking right away, right off that slider.
And takes the fall.
Adam locks it up.
Finishing a time of 47.3.
Okay, 47.3.
Take a look at our bracket here.
Nice links at the end there from Blake, getting the experience on how to go faster on his next race. He will be having a chance to come back in the comeback bracket. But for now, congratulations, Adam. You can see him right here doing that amazing pull through straight to the buzzer. I bet we'll see someone linking for the buzzer and air with it. And I really hate to see it, but that's something that you can always expect from these sort of hanging buzzer situations.
Yeah, it leaves a little bit of room for what happens in that situation. Do you try and save yourself on the trapeze bar, or do you just take the fall? Or there's a lot of different options you have.
Definitely.
Cameron
and now we've got
running through the course along with Jacob Hartman, Bimbo. He's both running super fast.
Yep, two athletes coming out of Massachusetts. I'm sure they see each other at competitions all the time, so they know what one another is capable of. And they are capable of great speed, apparently. And Jacob able to link the cliffhangers fully, making up all the ground that he lost to Cameron already. And, oh, Jacob has to go back and redo the slider. Oh, man,
A
trying to
little bit
argue
of
with the
confusion
ref
on the
for it.
course.
Yeah, that is tough because it looked like he had a big advantage there from linking the cliffs. And Cameron just a few moves away. He is going to hit that buzzer. He's going to lock it in. Jacob just has to try to get this smooth. Yeah, that flying bar is so tricky. And especially when you didn't expect to fall, you didn't think you fell, but then you have to go back anyway. That can rock even the most dialed in athletes.
Yeah, it's definitely plays the mental game for sure.
And it looks like right here we're going to see it again. And yes, you can see Jacob's foot dropping off the backside of the block. That's a great call by the ref. It's one that a less experienced ref might not have even noticed, but the staff here at Ninja Mania absolutely laser focused on every little detail. Good call. Cameron Godbout moving on to the winner's bracket. And we'll see his opponent coming his way back up the comeback bracket.
All right, we got a big race here. Alex versus Alex. Alex Asconi on the red side, Alex Andreka on the blue side.
Wow, great drop down tech from Alex Asconi. I think Alex Asconi kind of is speed himself, you know. I haven't seen this guy ever take a course slowly.
Speed personified, if you might say.
I think I would say, and he's going for it. He gets it, the first to do the ring
again.
slider skip. Well, here we go. We're going to hopefully see a new fastest time.
Wow.
Okay. I think I said
32.78.
So I believe I said 32.32, and you said 33.80 something.
I think that's true. So I believe I'm going to have to do 50 pull-ups tonight.
I guess so. I guess so.
Wow. You really hate to see it. Will is our winner of the predictions of fastest times.
And Alex Asconi is the winner of that race between the Battle of the Alexes.
Yep. It's okay, Will. We'll do double or nothing in the elite division.
I'm all for it, my man. I'm all for it. Next up, we got Will Yalenti. Next level on the left, Caleb Coombs from Dexterity on the right.
Yep.
Two super quick athletes. They've both gotten clears so far, so they know what they have to do on every obstacle. Now they just got to connect it to make it happen.
You can see Caleb having a significant lead right now.
Yeah, even though he got squirrely on the little hockey pucks there, he managed to clutch it up and keep it moving. We are back in the comeback bracket right now. We've got 4 comeback bracket races coming up. This is the first one of them. Great underbar dismount there from Caleb, but the turbo rollers.
Takes the fall, but I
So
think
it
he
looks
fell
like
forward. So
yeah. So he crossed the front plane, right?
yeah.
And luckily,
That's
that type of fall.
Still a time of 46.
Jeez. I mean, luckily with a type of fall like that, you don't have to waste any time to get back up and keep moving. So that was a little bit fortunate from Caleb. And Will Yalenti just going to try and get it done. It is going to be the end of the road for him, but I know that we're going to see him back here again next year. Head-to-head is such a fun format. And there you go. And I really got to give credit to Ryan Tanner making obstacles that have a little bit of technical ability required, which is perfect for a challenge course format type of competition. It's just so unforgiving when you're in
so much effort into making sure that they're the right obstacles for this head-to-head course. Everything needs to be perfect to get the time that you want.
That's right. Now here we go. Blake Hone on the right, Mason Goring on the left. Two of our taller teen male athletes going to be using that reach to great advantage here. Blake doing a great job pulling himself ahead off of obstacle 2.
Great link out of Blake.
Yeah, able to keep his hips just under him the whole time. Every time you set, you have to wait for your hips to swing back forward. So if you're able to bump through everything with your hips straight down, that is the most efficient way to link it every time.
Definitely.
Blake going for that ring slider
link.
skip again. He tried that last time as well, and with the same result, but he gave a little bit of space back to Mason to try to catch up.
I think it's important when you have a lead like that to maybe go for that link so that you know for future runs that you have it in the bag because now he knows that he just missed it, so maybe just needs a little more energy. Gets
Yeah,
the
and he
through
sort
there
of
with a
gave
time of
a
56.
yeah, great work from Blake. I love how he sort of looked back over his shoulder to make sure he had room and didn't need to rush his dismount or anything. And unfortunately, I believe that is going to be the end of Mason Goring's championship run here. Great work from him, though. See if he can get this last one done. He's going to have to link some stuff. He's got 6 seconds left. He can do it. Yup, pull through. Oh, I had to re-get his swing, and that's going to mean he timed on out. And he's going
Still a
for it.
great run out of both sides.
So what is needed to link the dismount on that ring slider here, Jackson?
It's definitely going to be about how you jump into it. So you can either jump and try and set, and that way you can throw it a little more, or you want to shoot through your jump. That way you can throw for the set. Definitely a really tough move, especially because you want to make sure your hips are lined up perfectly so you don't go off to the side.
Yeah, and it does look like that slider's even a little bit off to one direction. But next up here, we've got Jacob Hartman Bimbo on the right-hand side and William Sparrows on the left-hand side. So more orange and blue, it looks like here. Just a couple of orange blurs on my screen pretty much. These guys are really cooking it up.
Yeah.
Nice links from Jacob. His grip strength and his confidence to use it are absolutely in display, but it looks like his dismount's a little squirrely, but he falls into the corner. Great one. Yeah, as long as Jacob can get this. I think Jacob struggled in this last run to get that transfer, but able to do it first try here. Careful on the backswing. We've seen a couple of athletes undershoot that, but Jacob did a great job staying under control there. Able to get his link into the buzzer. Boom.
Time of 50 seconds too. You know he's going to want a little bit faster, but one of our fastest times so far for sure.
Yeah, William Sparrows just trying to finish it up. You know, if they're not going to kick you off the course, then these athletes are going to stay on as long as they can. That's just sort of how the ninjas tend to work.
All right, next up we got William Sparrows on the blue side and Jacob Hartman Bimbo on the... Oh.
Actually, I think it's... There we go.
There we go. Alex Andraka in the red side and Eli... I don't even want to try to pronounce that. Paris Grogan on the blue side.
I think that sounded right to me. And I'm sure, you know, coming out of Surge, Gavin will yell at us if we're wrong or something.
Yeah, of course.
And they are neck and neck off the first two obstacles. And, you know, that's one of the obstacles that we've really seen time separation begin to take into effect. And Alex, a little squirrely, but able to just pull himself into it. What a great use of his pull strength there.
Definitely.
And Jake, oh my goodness. Eli able to link straight through.
At the same time.
Looks like Alex lost his swing there on the ring slider, but so did Eli, so that's going to give him a one swing advantage here, but the turbo rollers!
He fails the turbo rollers.
And Eli now is a little bit ahead, but he's taking his time to make sure that he doesn't make any mistakes on this because it is, oh my gosh, Alex failed the turbo rollers twice. That means that this is Eli's win no matter what.
Wow, you really hate to see it. It's not great to go out like that. I'm pretty sure that was his second loss as well, so that might be the end of his competition, but still a great performance.
And look, you can see it right here. Alex is ahead, significantly ahead. One full obstacle, and unfortunately, those pesky turbo rollers still taking ninjas out from Worlds last year to the head-to-head championships right now.
Yeah, people kind of traumatized from those turbo rollers, so you might hop on there and just get some flashbacks to Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, though, we both got through them, so, you know, maybe we escaped that trauma.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Next up, we got Caleb Coombs and Jacob Hartman Bimbo once again. And if I recall, it was a little bit of a tricky comeback for Caleb last time. So we're going to see if he can make it smooth here. Looking good so far. I know for a fact, as well as you do, that Matt Bradley makes sure that these kids from his gym are just absolute cliffhanger fiends. So Caleb did a great
Yeah,
job
for
linking
sure.
himself
Wasting no
straight
time on
through.
the cliffs. Already over to the bar tech. Just gotta watch the backswing. They're both neck and neck.
Wow.
Wow. And we have a new fastest time from Caleb of 41.02. Wait, no.
40.
That's not the fastest time. It was
Well, it's
31.
Yeah, it's fastest time for him though. That's huge because
Yeah, for
every
sure.
single second that you can cut matters here.
Up next we have
Great runs there.
Eli in blue.
And Jacob, he is really fast, and it's just one of those things where all these athletes are fast. It's really anyone's match every single time they step up, and a single swing could be the difference between moving on and getting knocked out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see how Caleb Coombs is going to do in the later runs because just a great time overall. I believe that's the second fastest. And
I think so.
I believe he has one more race before he goes into one of the final brackets.
All right, we've got Blake Hone and Eli back up now. And oh my gosh, 1 foot underbar dismount. Really good move from Blake. That's one of those things where you got to be so committed to your game plan.
Yeah, Blake always super quick out the gate. He goes for the jump. I wonder if they're counting that. I think they are. Oh,
Nice.
but Eli takes the fall on the cliffhangers.
Yeah, I love that Blake's still trying to get his reps here. He saw that Eli took a fail, and he knew that he could go for it again with no disadvantage. He accidentally got the ring on top of the track's support structure. So that's why he had to drop back down a little bit there. And if he can keep this clean, yeah. I'm so surprised that we're seeing athletes of this caliber, both Eli and Blake, in the comeback bracket. It just speaks to the level of the field.
Yeah, when there's this many athletes, you're bound to raise so many strong competitors. And we got to keep in mind, once again, this is probably their 5th, 6th, 7th race. So they've been doing this for probably an hour now of just nonstop cardio racing. So
Yeah,
they're bound to get
true.
tired at some point.
All right, well, back over to the winners bracket, okay, the championship bracket. We've got Cameron Godbout on the right-hand side. He's your number 1 seed, going up against number 4 seeded Luke Kemmerer on the left-hand side. Both these athletes got full clears, and it's just going to come down to who can connect it all a little bit better.
Yeah, the winner of this race will advance to the final winner bracket, and the winner of that will go on to face the comeback bracket winner as well. So getting towards the end of this bracket today, but
yeah, the winner of
ooh.
I believe the winner of this locks themselves into the top 3. And whoa! Did you see what Cameron just did there, Jackson?
Yeah, crazy move.
Oh! And Luke is
Wow.
able to commit to the ring slider. And now he's just got a pole.
Wow.
Whoa!
What a crazy run.
2 of the fastest times. I believe that's the 2nd and 3rd fastest time of the day right there. Cameron grabs with one hand on the cliffhanger to his right and uses his single arm strength to pull himself to get both hands on the next one. If he can connect that ring slider dismount, we might see a new fastest time coming out of that young man. But unfortunately, that means Cameron is going to be making his way back up through the comeback bracket.
Yeah, crazy move out of it. Hitting that bump through. We were talking about the differences between linking something and bumping through it. And Cameron completely displaying what it means to bump through something like that.
Well, Alex is another one that will display that. As you can see him just pulling himself straight into the board dismount. He's racing as Adam Hinlicky, Ninja Mania's own, on the left-hand side of your screen. And just pulling. It's one of those things, I think I heard Phil Folsom say it after a speed course run. All he tries to do is pull faster. If you can pull harder,
Exactly.
you will be faster. And there it is. Alex just doing what he did last time. Maybe even a little bit better.
It's just speed all day.
32.12. So he's officially faster than either of our predictions now.
Jeez.
And Adam
That's
just going to
scary
get
for
his
when he goes to the
experience.
elite division.
Yeah, he is an incredible guy. And Adam committing to a big pull through there on the flying bar. It's what he has to do to stay competitive. So I'm got to give him props for sticking to his plan no matter what.
Definitely.
Okay, dropping back down into the comeback bracket. We're going to have Cameron Godbout, a little bit tired from just running, but he's going to have to fight his way through it going up against Blake Hone. Blake's been committing slowly to more and more difficult links and different techniques, so we'll see if he can pull it together here.
Yeah, only 2 races left in the comeback bracket before we go to our final race. This is going to decide who moves on to the final comeback bracket race.
That's right. I believe this is for seeing who's in the top 4, and Cameron doing that one-arm pull-out again. Blake going for a jump straight out. Cameron's going to have to figure out that ring slide or dismount if he wants to keep pace with Alex moving forward. But right now, he's just doing a great job securing his win. And, oh, it's close.
Yeah, I think great run out of Cameron, finishing in 38 seconds. One thing he might need to start thinking about is how to close the gap on that ring slider and the bar tech. Gonna need to clean up a couple of things to get that new fastest time.
Yeah, I wonder if he slowed down just because he knew he didn't have to commit. And it honestly did give room for Blake Hone to catch back up a good amount there.
Yeah, definitely. We have our next comeback bracket race. We got Adam Hinlicky going up against Caleb Coombs. We got Adam, another Ninja Mania athlete, and then Caleb once again from Dexterity.
That's right, and this will decide who our final 4 is. The winner of this is going to be moving on to one more race in the comeback bracket to get into top 3. So Caleb Coombs with a slight advantage here. I feel like I've seen Caleb make a couple of little mistakes in some of his runs, though, so there's definitely room for Adam to catch himself back up here. I believe Adam did run through the slider last time, but unable to connect it here, and he actually doesn't even hop it. Well, that might be all she wrote. If Caleb can get this clean, then it's going to be his win, and he moves on to the final 4, and that is exactly what happens.
Cleaning up his time once again, finishing in 40 seconds.
Yeah, and I know that Adam, I mean, he is looking super strong. He's had a great couple of runs so far, but I'm pretty sure he's hasn't been able to train as much as he once did. I don't exactly know all the details there, but it's one of those things where you got to always try to stay on the top of your game in this sport.
Ooh, great race coming up against Caleb Coombs and Cameron Godbout. This will decide 3rd place now. It's going to be a great race.
Right. This will decide who gets into the top 3. This is basically a podium decider,
yes.
Because the winner could still move on and win his next couple races and take 1st place. We are going to be giving Caleb a quick 1-minute break. He did just run. We got to give him a little bit of time here. What do you think has been the absolute biggest area for time differences here?
Yeah, I think the ring sliders definitely became a little bit of a killer today because a lot of people going for that extra move, the extra skip. But some people might get tricked up on it, might fall on it, and some people might play the safer route and it might waste a little bit more time. But I also think once again you gotta think about the bar tech because we saw Alex Asconi, I think someone else link from the flying bar directly to the PVC, and that's the difference between 2, 3, 4 seconds. So it's really about every single obstacle in the course. Like even the first obstacle could save you 0.01 seconds. So you never know what can happen.
Great point. Great point. It's funny. We saw a couple of the preteens starting behind the starting block so they could run at it a little bit faster. But both of these athletes electing to just stand right on it. Let's just get started quickly.
Getting started.
Yep, Cameron taking a little bit
Caleb
extra
takes
time.
the extra swing at the end, though.
Yeah, this is
gonna have to close the gap.
Yup, and Cameron able to keep pulling himself through. You can see that Cameron is setting into his cliffhanger links, and Caleb is just pulling himself through. So that's a bit of an advantage there. And wow, Cameron does get the ring slider dismount.
Move.
That's it. You're like you just said, that's a huge time skip for the people that are able to commit to it. And
Yeah,
Cameron is
wow.
that
Still a great
guy.
run out of Caleb. Cameron finishing in 37 seconds.
Okay, he's slowly cutting off the time. Yeah, and great run from Caleb. You can see, I think he was going for that skip on the ring slider and just came up a little short. And now he's just doing this for fun. Get it done.
Of course.
And that's going to be a 4th place finish from him. Nothing to get too upset about.
Yeah, still a great athlete.
Okay, this is it. This is the last round in the championship bracket. These two runners are completely undefeated. They've had incredible runs. We've got Alex Asconi on the left, Luke Kemmerer on the right, both Ninja Mania athletes. And you know what's great about that is that means they're teammates. And so this is almost like they're just training in the gym right now. They probably do this every week. Looks like Alex able to start
you know
a
they're gonna
little
want to
bit
be
quicker.
neck and neck against each other. I'm sure they're probably gonna make fun of the other one, depending on who loses.
Oh, I gotta love a little friendly competition, right?
Of course.
Now, I will say Luke Kemmerer is one of those guys that can absolutely pull up a crazy surprise, but oh no, he got hung up on the hockey pucks there, and you can see he's about 4 obstacles behind. This is the first time Alex Asconi did not link, I don't think, straight through the flying bar, but he still puts up a blazing fast time. What a guy. Takes an extra swing and is still his 2nd fastest time of the day.
Yeah, and he's not done yet. He still is in the running to go up against Caleb to get back into the final round. Not Caleb,
Yeah,
Cameron.
Luke.
Sorry about that.
Luke's able to get his links there and commit to the last obstacle. And it's one of those things where if I were in Luke's shoes, I might have elected to not even do the last couple of obstacles and just save my energy because I know I have a race in about a minute. And it's sort of like what you were saying, that fatigue can really start setting in. We are going to give Luke about a minute here to catch his breath before we throw him in against Cameron Godbout. This will determine who ends up in 3rd place. Alex Asconi is guaranteed 1st or 2nd on the day. And I mean, both of these athletes have been putting in incredible work. They both have very fast times, both sub 40. So it's just going to come down to who can connect it all together on this last race.
Yeah, definitely going to be neck and neck here. Cameron's going to have to go for some of the skips he did in that last round. He went for that ring slider skip, but on the last one, he didn't do that cliffhanger bump. So if he can put it all together, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see another blazing time out of Cameron.
Yeah, you know, I will say for Cameron, that ring slider dismount, I know it was only his first time doing it in the last round, but he made it look flawless and effortless. And it's not. It is a hard technique. That's why we're seeing so many people come up short on it. But here we go. The athletes are ready. Cam on the left, Luke on the right.
It's all or nothing
And
now.
Yep. I like how they got the guy in the blue shirt on the blue side, the guy in the red shirt on the red side. I wonder if that was at all.
Of course. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And Luke taking an early fall at the beginning.
You can see he just held his head. He could not believe that. I think he's... No way.
Wow.
Oh, Cameron,
Really,
look, turn it around.
it.
Cameron doing sort of what I said and just sort of taking the fall because he knows he has another race and he's already done.
You know he's not going to be happy with that one.
I think that's a veteran call from Cameron. I feel so bad for Luke. He was pushing the pace just a little too far, and you sometimes lose focus when something like that happens. And you can see here all the athletes, all the races, and we're down to Alex Asconi versus Cameron Godbout, our number 1 and number 2 seed, showing why they are seated as highly as they are.
Yeah, they both had a ghost runner at the beginning of the competition, and they're finally running it back since the very first round. Really goes to show how strong these athletes are.
I mean, if we look at fastest runs, Alex Asconi is consistently hitting these 32-second master classes in speed. Cameron's going to have to really pull out every single trick to keep pace.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that only one athlete has matched his Alex Asconi's first run, and that was out of literally everyone else's runs. It was only one person that got faster than Alex Asconi's very first run, which is crazy to think about.
Absolutely. I mean, Alex is naturally a super talented athlete, super fast, but also hits his home gym. He's feeling at home. This is his comfort place. This is not at all Cameron Godbout's gym. So you see he's catching his breath there. Cameron is ready to take on the gauntlet. Alex Asconi on your right, Cameron on your left. And we're going to get started.
This is it.
They're quickly getting through, bumping as fast as they can. Cameron getting
fast.
through it. I think that's
Wow,
the first time
Cameron's
someone's beat.
finding a new speed.
Yeah, that's probably the first time I think anyone's beaten Alex through obstacle 2. And now you can see here Alex pulling through the cliffs,
Still neck
whereas
and neck.
Cameron sets. Yo! Alex catches
Alex
himself
Asconi
back
closes
up.
the gap.
But
Wow,
that is
and Alex Asconi with a sub 30.
No!
Both athletes hitting the sub 30.
Oh!
What an
That's
ending
incredible.
to this amazing competition.
Alex is smiling, 29.16. I mean, we're talking 3 seconds faster than you or I even thought was possible on this course.
Yeah, wow.
Where does he
I am
make it
blown
up?
away right now. I think just the overall pacing of how fast you're running the course. Like every obstacle, if you cut down 0.5 seconds on each one, then that ends up being 2, 3, 4 seconds. So crazy runs
great
out of both
point.
of them. Cameron Godbout closing the gap. Started off maybe a little bit slower than Alex Asconi, but ended up literally less than a second away from him. So just a great run from both athletes. You can see our
let's
podium
face
here.
Yep, we got Alex Asconi in first, Cameron Godbout in second, and Luke Kemmerer with some amazing runs in third place. These boys worked so hard today to make sure that they pushed themselves all the way up to the podium. And there they are, the last couple of trophies for all the different divisions here. Going to be handing those out to our winners here today. There we go. Mr. Kemmerer coming up from the back somewhere. You know, I do want to just shout out Cameron Godbout. Oh, maybe that's what happened to Luke. He hit his head on his dismount.
He bumped his head.
Or it could just be a style choice, you know?
Yeah, of course. He just wanted to look like that.
And there we go. Cameron Godbout pushing his opponent, Alex Asconi, to the absolute limits on that last run. And Alex wearing green. Early celebration of St. Patrick's Day here.
Yep.
And there you go. That is your top 3. Oh, Cameron! Spooked.
With the confetti.
Man, I love the little confetti popping up over everybody. Well, congratulations to these 3 young men. They absolutely crushed it today. And I just got to shout out again, Cameron Godbout. His last run was faster than anyone's run up to that point that day. It just happened.
Yeah, really pushed it.
Just happened that Alex Asconi was pushing him as best he could, and it happened in vice versa too. And well, that's our penultimate division here. We've only got one division left, and that's coming up real soon, the elite male division. We're going to be starting that stream any minute here, so keep your eyes out, and Jackson and I are going to see you guys there.
Yeah, one more division left to go in this amazing competition. Looking forward to seeing these last couple of runners.
And that's it from us here in the commentary booth. We will see you all in the Elite Division stream shortly coming.